Welcome to our podcast, Learn Biblical Greek, brought to you by Dr. William Stewart, the co-founder of Teleios. This captivating podcast teaches you biblical Greek through a verse-by-verse study of the book of Ephesians, interjecting Greek grammar, Greek word meanings, and vital theology concepts. Thanks for joining us on this exciting biblical journey. Your study will be more effective if you use the Greek text with the Bible word codes, either on the eSword download or Bible Hub website. These links are on our podcast website at www.teliosresearch.com.
Hi, I'm William Stewart, co-founder of Teleios. Welcome back to our podcast on learning biblical Greek. We're doing Greek. What fun. As I say, always be persistent, patient. We're going over the same grammatical points time after time. And as you follow the podcast, these will become very natural to you. The obscure points, you can always search them out in a grammar online using Copilot or other AI is a great source of finding out questions about the Greek text. So we are in Ephesians chapter 3, verse 9. We're in the middle of Paul describing his ministry as the conduit of post-ascension information to the church. The apostolic letters from Romans to Revelation chapter 3, what we obey is as church members are in those letters and how we live. So it's very important. Let's start in the middle. Apo, the preposition from, going away, it takes the genitive. So the following noun with the article, Teleios, that omega N ending in the article, and the noun is the sort of universal across genders and declensions, the plural genitive, possessive in the plural. And they match. So, of course, ionon is a second declension noun. In, that very common preposition, always translated in the English, as far as I know, but it's more versatile. So, by, on, at, by means of. To is the following article and associated with a noun. So Teleios, so this is the dative, singular, can be masculine, can be neuter. Teo matches the noun, so remember this makes it a second declension, followed by another to, dative, singular, a masculine, which is associated with the verb preposition kasante. Now that doesn't follow. So remember, word order is flexible in Greek. So you have to recognize that the article can be separated from the noun. So in between the to and the crescente, 3 words later, is ta panta. So ta, another article, which is the neuter, accusative, could be nominative, also plural, but in this case, by context, it's accusative, being acted upon. Panta is the associated noun, pas, all. We see this a lot. Remember, it's root word, P-A-E-N-T. You just attach the A on that, and you also get the associated accusative plural neuter. All things, or the things, or all things. So in English, you have to add the noun. So then we have katisante from the verb katizo. This is a verb create, and you see that it is the Z has disappeared. Mounts, in his great book, The Morphology of Biblical Greek, has 8 types of Greek verbs. The first type are just the usual, the present tense verbs will easily sort of look like the other tenses. But there are a number of verbs that in the present tense I have to do a correction a little bit later on, so I'll mention this again. The first or the ending of the root of the verb, in this case is Z, that Z will only be there in the present tense. So this is the second type of his verbs. What happens historically is that there's an old consonant iota consonant that has disappeared out of Greek. When you pull that out in the present tense, the Z disappears, leaving you able to use the SA for the aorist. So we see that there's the root word kati. SA is the tense formative of the aorist. Remember the punctiliar one-time completed tense. That NT tells you then it is the participle. And in the active form, and that I tells you it's the dative. Of course, these take third declension endings matching to the TO. So what we have here in God, he who is creating or has created all things. Complicated, yes, and I apologize for this. Again, you'll get used to it. Dia, another preposition. In the genitive, it means takes the instrumental by means of case. So we have Jesu, Christu, OU, that genitive, masculine or neuter, singular, single ending. So, and of course, the Jesu Christo, we don't have an article there, but these are second declension nouns. Okay, so what do we have here? Which from the beginning of the world, who created all things by Jesus Christ. So God and in God created all things by Jesus Christ. Now I need to make a correction from last week, and I think I indicated that apo kek rumimenu, excuse me, easy for me to say, that the root word crypto, I said that the P changed to an M with the passive participle mimum for pronunciation reasons. So this is typical. I forgot to mention the T. So again, this is one of those Muntz categorizations of the verb. This is the fourth type. Number 3 are the end. So the consonant iota, the second type, the end, the third type, T in the fourth type. These last consonants of the root disappear out of the present tense. So since this is not the present tense, from the dictionary form, crypto, that T disappears, and then the P changes to an M. Confusing? Yes, of course. Again, you'll get used to it. Muntz's book helps because he explains these consonant changes towards the front of the book and these verb types towards the end. So if you really want to understand how Greek changes the words in different forms, depending on their use, then this book is a great resource for you. Thank you for joining me today. We'll continue with verse 10 in this important chapter. Next time, please join me then.